So, I saw a cute nonogram game on Blue Sky today. I thought, oh, I know, I'll try that out. That looks nice. And, I don't really know how to play Picross. And this morning, I didn't even know what two numbers being next to each other meant. Um, I've realized that I've never actually had a Picross phase. Help, I can't stop. I'm actively looking for boxes to click on to fill out a little picture. I need to logic my way through numbers to make a little image. And if it weren't for the fact that it has been actual literal years since the last Scarlet Hollow, I probably would have just come up with that. But anyway, yeah, it is stream time. And indeed, it is time for Scarlet Hollow, Episode 5. Alright, sorry, I just had to deal with probably a bot there. Anyway, yeah, I had to double check, but it has been since December 2022 since we've last played this, which, it's understandable that it's been a little while. They did have to release a critically acclaimed different game twice in the meantime. And I did play it through both times, but, now we're back to this. Also, as a note, they did release an update at one point that, refined a bunch of things and I think added, like, a decent amount of routes to the earlier stuff because they are mad and they cannot be stopped. So, yeah. I did not play that because we are making forward progress with Kid. We're not going to go back and make different choices, even if there are new choices available. We're on this road and we're going to stick to it. Even if that winds up going horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. And who knows, it might. I think they mentioned either this episode or next episode is going to be like the earliest possible early ending. Though apparently it will be, relatively noticeable. So it's not like it's going to blindside you necessarily. So it'll probably be just an option that says, "Don't do this. It's bad. No, stop." But yeah, hopefully things go decently. So yeah, has been a while, which means I need to note that, hey, since the last time I streamed, I do have a computer instead of a laptop. That is pretty significant. I mean, obviously that's been my life for a while now, but last time Scarlet Hollow was played on this stream, I was on the old laptop, so hey, good news. If there are any cutscenes in this one, I'll actually be able to watch them. I know. Amazing. Amazing how far technology has come. All right, and one more thing to note, of course, is we do have to bring up Kid's outfit, as always. While we do that, I actually need to bring up the artist, and I don't want to bring these up for too long because I'm using a Pikachu for them, but like they're mostly for personal use, so I don't want them to be on screen for too long, because, yeah, it's not like I'm making money off of this, but still, nonetheless. Don't want to show this off more than I need to. So yeah, okay, character maker by Queen Bee on Pikachu. So yeah, just as a reminder, here are the earlier outfits. And then here's today's. Though, if I remember correctly, we are starting at Stella's house, I think? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a recap, so let's get into that now. Let's, find that. And as that comes up, we'll switch over. Here we go. So, is this slightly off? Why is that slightly off center? Hold on a moment. Let me just... Yeah, there's the intro. You might not even be able to save yourself. Just a good reminder. Alright, let's see. Window capture. I don't think it was doing that earlier. Should capture cursor. Transform, fit to screen. Hold up. Let me do one more thing. Preferences. Window. Okay. Alright, that should be good, right? Yep, okay. Don't know why it was like that. Anyway. Right, so let's see. We are at Thursday chapter end. This is the end of episode 4. Episode 5 finally awaits. Succinct and to the point. Yep. Continue past this stuff. Yep, absolutely. Honestly, it's been a hot minute. Let's just get the full recap. Plus, we'll actually be able to see this game in decent quality now. Funeral of Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. You know, if I remember correctly, we did listen to Tabitha, and didn't really explore the estate, but we did meet Dustin. Alright, I believe Duke is very dead in this run. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Duke grapples with the things it grabs at his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way as it grasps for Birdie with oddly jointed limbs, while Stella stares in shocked silence, as if paused, watching as the other creature attempts to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going unheeded. They actually changed that, didn't they? Alright, I think this might be one of the changes. Instead of Gretchen just getting free and running off foolishly, she's being actively dragged off. I'm gonna guess some people didn't really care for that. Alright, well, I'm glad we're getting a recap, because we're getting a recap of things I did not see because I didn't play the updated version. Also, this thing's very freaky. You manage to grab her, but the creature isn't deterred. It rears back on its hind legs, its mouth opening, whispered tones sliding out alongside something sharp and unnatural. But then there is the deafening blast of Duke's shotgun, and suddenly it is gone. Hello, Wayne Radio TV. We can't forget that you're here. Oh no, Kanika's a ghost in this run. Oh good, he's still here. Very important information. Dustin does make me feel good. Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door. Of course, we ignored that, but it's fine. We were all out that night. Also, was this the day I could have spoken to, Avery and just didn't? Why is Kanika a ghost? I'm slowly forgetting her. I haven't spent enough time with her. I'm not romancing her in this run, oh no. Though that does seem to be on purpose, because for some reason it was giving her ominous unknown text. We know who Wayne is. You're interrupted by a sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. Yeah, it's... Is this part of the story? Would I be missing the fact that Kaneka's slowly disappearing from existence if I didn't get the recap? You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. You narc. Kid just snuck into the Shaw mine. I figured you should know. Why do things keep happening to me? A fair question. Yeah, if they changed how Gretchen worked in episode 1, I'm gonna guess the situation's a little different with the kids here. Yep, it is haunted. But she's interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. I can't really start this chapter with in-character knowledge that Kaneka's vanishing. But I, the player, knows. I'm going to be very worried until I can do something about it. Your cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, this got updated around the time Chapter 4 released, because I do distinctly remember your surroundings quick as the mind collapses around you. That injury, ooh, jeez, not looking as bad in the initial draft. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. And, yeah, they updated that, so you know that that is a very serious injury. There are 2 of them now. What happened to your glass house? Alright, Janie. The one married character. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the 2 of you, impatiently tapping her foot. I mean, her husband's the weird pastor, so maybe he'll get exploded by ghosts, who knows. Yeah, and you're the son of the guy I let die. Okay, yeah. The dog mayor of Scarlet Hollow. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his cute little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. And yet he does nothing. Yeah, you. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. It's hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike this man. And it's not just his hot wife. I'm good. Goodbye. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist. He spends all his time confined to his studio. And now we know why that's happening. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in their corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Ah, yeah, you don't say. Yep, dinner's already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Someone anxiously picks at her food. Stella's nervously talkative and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Okay, now I kind of wish I only got a recap of episode 4. I'm only getting more anxious. Please, Kanika, she is sick. And being erased from time. You know, I know the entire point of the game is there's no easy fixes, but I do wish Mystic had kind of been the, I guess, golden route of Chapter 4. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Yeah, I feel bad for Reese, but also I wasn't gonna let him murder his mom. Teen interests. Many boys. It appears on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish brown. And that's when everything went horribly wrong. Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Before you have the chance to think, another door creaks open on what you thought was the ceiling. Hey, Wayne. I don't remember it being that expressive before getting its skull crushed. Splooch. Smell hits you. That now familiar wet, unwell odor. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I didn't give up years for him. Because I thought it was ridiculous. That being said, Oscar no longer has a place to live. We have been just ruining his life further and further. You fall towards the entrance, your legs still unsure of the ground beneath you, and the doors fly open. You're outside. It's real this time. A cool autumn breeze blows small piles of dried leaves across the steps of the library. Yeah, that's great, Wayne. I'm not dating you though. I know you're like the most popular character in the game for dating, but look, I'm just not into you like that. She hurries off down the road. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Kanika exists even less now, but your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Yeah, I did, person I'm slowly no longer knowing. You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Oh yeah, she was missing for most of the game. You know, if the recap replays the cutscene where her parents die, we can finally get that. My old laptop accidentally censored that. Nope, whatever's going on, it's not God. Right, the funny thing about that is, you might think he's talking about ghosts, but he is talking about the animals. And as somebody who is mystical and can talk to animals, yeah, that's just a funny situation. It's not one thing that I can understand, it's the other. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. The instant you're alone, Tabitha rounds on you. She grabs you by the collar, her face close to yours, eyes full of rage, her words a frustrated hiss. You throw the teacup violently to the ground. It shatters on the hardwood floor, liquid spilling out over the rug. Why did I do that? She reaches out to stop you, but you're already out the door, on your way up to someone. His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Yep, it's one of these. Yep. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Yep. Hello. Hello, Reese and company. Ah, come on. Is this what you were afraid of? Just little old this? You hand Dr. Kelly the tranquilizer darts. Dr. Kelly quickly loads them into her gun, leveling the barrel at her son. Could have been worse. I didn't want you to kill your mom, Reese. And again, could have been worse. Tabitha could come in with a shotgun and kill you. You sit on the log beside Stella. Okay, we're gonna listen to that. But I don't know where to look, Wayne. You drift off together, limbs entwined, exhausted and safe and comforted. Tomorrow may bring some new horror, or it may remove Kanika from existence, I don't know. It's time to continue your journey. You wake up to the sound of birdsong and to the welcome aroma of breakfast sizzling down the hall of Stella's intimately cozy cottage. The soft cotton oversheet you're wrapped in still smells like her. The gentle morning sun shines in through her bedroom window, speckling the sheets with dazzling spots of light, warming the spot where Stella lay beside you all nights. You feel like you've had a good night's sleep for the first time in days, and you know you have her to thank for it. Yeah, you gotta have the dog there. Gretchen is non-negotiable. Alright, guess we'll smooch. You take a step forward, leaning in close. You can feel Stella's smile broaden as you plant a gentle kiss on her cheek. Before you can pull away, she takes your face in her flour-dusted hands, pressing her soft lips to yours. She smirks as she turns back to the pan. How'd you sleep? Yep. You feel great knowing that all of your friends exist still. I'm not gonna say no to pancakes. Thanks for making breakfast. I feel like I barely ate yesterday. I'm starved. Did we even eat yesterday? Yeah, we're very bad at that if I'm being entirely honest. Stella motions with a pancake-laden plate towards the table. You take a seat. Let's go with take a bite of your pancakes first. You take a multi-layered bite of Stella's pancakes. They're incredible. A perfectly crispy crust with a light and fluffy interior, still steaming from the heat of the pan, with a generous pour of maple syrup adding a flavorful sweetness. A rich buttery aftertaste lingers on your palate. A stack of these made with love by someone who cares about you is a perfect way to start your day. Anyway, these pancakes are great, but time for depressing talk. Hey, before we figure out our plans for the day, we should talk about Reese. Oh boy, did something ever happen. You take a deep breath and proceed to explain everything. Gretchen cannot handle this. Oh, that's a robot. Stella stares down at her pancakes in shock, trying to process what you've just said. Tears well up in Stella's eyes. She tries to blink them away before you can notice. She looks away for a long moment, trying to collect herself. Oh yeah, she'd be super dead. I don't actually think I've seen that happen, but the game is usually very clear about its stakes. I don't think you can be blamed for being in your own problems and not knowing he was turning into a literal monster. She takes a sullen bite of pancake. With it, she seems to swallow her momentary distress, her casual demeanor returning as she gives you a weak smile. Yeah, I think you'll probably need it. He's probably got super depression. Wow, okay. I don't remember Gretchen being so aggro against Reese. Not Avery. Avery's done nothing but do kind things for Gretchen. They're fine and elsewhere. I know almost nothing about them because I've not talked to them ever. They probably don't like me that much. Could have at least talked to them in the diner that one time. Oh, yep, nope, yeah, hi, I definitely want to say this. We should tell Kanika, right? You three being best friends and all? Stella's brow briefly knits in confusion, and she stares distantly as if trying to remember something. She shakes her head, finally snapping back into the conversation. Huh. Did she make some kind of Fae deal where she did get to leave when she wanted to? You forgot she moved back? Stella, you saw her every day this week except yesterday. Let's not tell her about the mysterious figure. Yeah, what if we just skip the plot for this episode and then Kanika just dies? You know, I guess we don't have any other plans, really. I mean, I guess she could suggest something with this one, but, I guess this is what I want to do, barring anything else, bringing to attention that Kanika's in possible danger. But I don't want to say that out of the blue, so that means we should mention Wayne, which means we should actually mention that he stopped by. Wayne stopped by while you were in the shower last night. I know, right? That's why I wasn't gonna say anything. He is weird, but he is helpful. He said Tabitha wouldn't be around today. Oh, okay, so everybody says go to the estates. And if we get caught, Tabitha will murder us because we've got, like, 0 points with her, I guess. Hell yeah, let's snoop. Alright. Yeah, no, we're going right towards the spooky problems. I'm not doing the ignore things routes. How can we be sure Tabitha won't be there? I mean... You know, I think by this point, Wayne's weird, but like... At no point has he actually, like, harmed us. So... I trust Wayne. He hasn't led me astray yet. Stella stands up, Gretchen hopping down from her chair to stand at Stella's side, and the two of them lead you to the door and out into the chilly morning air. The walk through town is quiet. It's early, and though you can smell the diner cooking up breakfast for hungry miners and brewing coffee for cops to sip, while ignoring the horrors plaguing Scarlet Hollow, Main Street is deserted. You and Stella feel like the only people in the world, watching the sun rise over the abandoned library. The estate looms over the three of you, more unwelcoming than it's ever been, as if the small bit of time you've spent away in a warm house still full of love that built it has made the mere thought of the crumbling manor unbearable. Well, no, it just makes her stronger, you see. See, the air is thin, but that just makes all of her training so much more potent. Okay, I was about to ask how literal that was, and it seems very. Yeah, it used to be such a beautiful house, and I'm still pretty convinced that it's just a metaphor for the town. Anyway, together you cross the threshold, the ancient door creaking open to reveal the familiar dusty foyer. Knowing Tabitha isn't here to keep you in line gives the place a new feeling, like you have complete ownership of the place and that any secrets it once held are yours to be uncovered, if only you can figure out where to look. Is Gretchen gonna make a comment on that? Yeah, okay. Oh, she can sense Fro-Fro, can't she? Yep. I can smell her already. That loathsome feline stench pervades every inch of this house. Fro-Fro just looming in the background. Alright. Your bedroom. Let's not. It's not a very nice bedroom, and unless we're looking for haunted dolls, let's just go right to the Forbidden Wing. We're gonna be business while we're here. I know it was an explore option, but still, I don't know anything about this spot here. They're chained shut. Stella whips out a massive pair of bolt cutters, immediately setting to work on the chain. They snip right through the heavy links like they're nothing. But now she's going to know that we're here. Or that somebody's been here, and frankly, who else would it be? God, I love using these things. So yeah, I think it's Street Smart that lets you lockpick those and actually get a bit of a, early look at what's in here. But, that's not been my thing. They clatter to the ground and the doors open with a suitably ominous creak. Do not give Gretchen tools. She would be a menace. Okay, good. Stella knows when to put the camera away. Smart, Stella, smart. Stella pulls out her camera, pointing it towards the inviting open doorway. Oh god, or she names her fans Stellars. So, like, you didn't actually show the door being opened, and, you know, obviously you don't want the direct crime there, but I feel like a lot of this is still gonna point towards us. There's not a lot of other people coming here and breaking open the doors. She grins as she takes your hand, her grip strong and eager, and together, you enter the forbidden wing of the Scarlet Estates. You find yourselves in the remains of a grand ballroom. It's clear why Tabitha didn't want you going anywhere near this place. The air smells rotten and earthy, and the floor is uneven, tilting and unsteadily beneath you. A massive rift splits the room down the middle, tiles and broken floorboards lining the black gash-like teeth. The walls creak and moan in a ghostly chorus that mocks the joy that must have once filled this place. Also, can I say it's just really weird having one of these not narrated by a person who's not me again? Where are you now, narrator? In that mural? Pfft, I don't think so. This is no longer a place for people. It has begun the slow process of being reclaimed by the earth. Wow, more evil than Frofro. I'm impressed. Stella hurries across the room, pulling you along with her as she focuses the camera on the floor-length mural. No, she did make the cut, yeah. They removed that branch mostly out of spite. Switch into professional mode. Stella clears her throat, straightening up and steadying the camera as she slowly pans up from Silas all the way up to Tabitha. Alright, yeah, let's learn a little more about the family tree. Wait, I wanted to ask about the family tree. Okay, I'm thinking... Enoch first. What do you know about Enoch? That's the extent of my knowledge. What's your take on it, Gretchen? What do you know about Theodore, Scarlet? I mean, we're not really part of the tree anymore. I had a vision about him yesterday. What's the most important part? He didn't die in the collapse. He and Enoch talked in the hospital afterwards. Teddy was supposed to come home. Stella focuses the camera on you as you explain the vision you saw yesterday. She is clearly shocked by this revelation, drinking in every word, eyes growing wide. Alright, what do you know about Edwardine's daughters? Alright, and, one more. What do you know about Edwardine's brothers? Yeah, it probably changes things a little bit. Stella visibly shudders. Like, immediately. Let's move on. Well, let's just follow Stella. Stella scoops up Gretchen and nimbly hops across the gash in the floor, putting her safely on the floor before offering a hand to help you over. If I die here, I'm going to haunt you. Good to know. You take Stella's hand and she gives you a gentle boost over the gash in the floor. I'm gonna guess if you're strong, you can probably just leap up. The hallway beyond the ballroom slants uncomfortably to the left, reminding you that the entire estate is currently dangling off the side of a cliff. You can't help but imagine the building finally deciding to give up, unbalanced by the weight of a few trespassers taking you and Stella with it to the ground, as the ground gives way and destroys the old house at last. It just needs to be moved a little to the side, and that'll be fine. Ooh. Yeah, it could be either one of them. Okay, yep, nope, Gretchen says it is definitely Wayne. Kinda figured. If anybody's gonna be snooping, it is him. Stella continues down the hallway, filming all the way, and you trail along behind her. You make your way up the staircase, its boards creaking treacherously beneath you, and find yourselves at the far end of another corridor. An eerie breeze sweeps down the length of the hallway, kicking up swirls of dust, the age-stained curtains fluttering around cracked windows. An ornate entryway, its door long gone, breaks the monotony of the faded wallpaper, and a staircase looms at the far end. No. I might have missed something by not going to the bedroom, but we'll just do this. Look, I'm just saying, the bedroom is the easiest thing to investigate. If we go back there and Topsy catches us there, that's fine. She'll scowl at us being with Stella, but other than that, we're good. You both make your way to the dark doorway in the middle of the corridor. It seems like some kind of entertainment room. The sort you'd expect out of fancy rich people who wanted to show off. It would feel elegant if not for the massive crack that runs the entire length of the floor. The air here stinks of mildew. You can see why Tabitha doesn't want you exploring these rooms. And if the princess were here, slaying her would be doing her a favor. There's a large painting on the far wall of the room. From a distance, it looks like it might depict the town. As Stella excitedly films B-roll of the ruined parlor, something else catches your eye, too. A bookshelf. Or rather, what's left of a bookshelf, hanging by a single rusted hinge. Its sagging shelves reveal some sunless space beyond, once hidden, now exposed by the rot of this house. And it seems that Stella has spotted it too, as she turns her camera towards the dark entryway. Let's just take a look at the painting real quick. The painting highlights a number of old buildings and locales, many of which you've already visited. The town hall, the estate, the mines, and the clinic, still called the hospital at the time of the painting. The church, and then there's somewhere you've yet to see. The historical Callaway/Tremaine homesteads. You better not dare to dream. It won't be worth it. Okay. Hidden room time. Stella takes you by the hand, her firm grip lending you a sense of security even as you both step over the wide gap in the floor. Together, you duck between the shelves, stepping over water-damaged books and into the darkness of the hidden room. The space is dark, its features barely illuminated by the faint light trickling in through the myriad of cracks and holes in the wall. The wallpaper, a deep, exquisite red, adds a blood-like glow to the dimness. The walls are lined with ornate display cabinets, some empty, some still presenting their antique treasures. Nestled between the cabinets, a single tall bookshelf remains standing, its occupants dusty but mostly intact. But all of these are ornamental details. Your focus is drawn to an expensive-looking antique desk in the center of the room. A possum, you say? No, don't worry. Gretchen barks out at the rest of the room, attempting to intimidate whatever it is she smells. It's fine. The possums are fine. We're cool. In fact, I actually need to check it. I didn't show Stella Dustin. I might need to restart. Okay, I'm gonna save in a different file, and I just won't read the recap. In between streams, I'll look to see if I did miss a thing, and if I did, I'll just replay. But that's important. Gretchen quiets down, but that doesn't stop her from thoroughly investigating the space. Investigative documentarians? Is that what YouTubers are? You know, that's a good idea. Yeah, you gotta be forward-thinking. Anyway, desk time. You step towards the desk. Maybe there's something worth finding in its drawers. Okay. Open the top drawer. The top drawer mostly contains old-timey letter-writing materials, complete with a fancy dagger-shaped letter opener and a wax stamping kit emblazoned with the initials ES. The wax seems lightly gnawed. Underneath, you find a pile of crumbling financial documents. Scrawled in neat cursive in every spot that needed a signature is the name Enoch Scarlet. This must be his desk, meaning this must also be his study. And hidden among the documents you find an ancient photograph. A stern blonde man stares up at you from the detritus at the bottom of the drawer, a face you're surprised to find you recognize. It's the man from your vision, the one in the hospital bed. I guess she wouldn't know that if I didn't tell her. close the drawer. The bottom drawer offers some resistance as you try to pull it out. It seems that it was locked, though the bit of metal attempting to hold it shut seems to have rusted to the point of uselessness years ago. It gives in with a sharp tug, rotting wood splintering softly somewhere within the century-old desk. You're surprised to see the familiar faces staring at you from within the nest of odd glass vials. No, Gretchen, no. They're cool, Gretchen, they're cool. Please no kill, Dustin already dead. Dustin and Dustin's mom play dead. No, Gretchen, Dustin... Wait, sorry. No, Gretchen, Dustin and Dustin's mom are my friends. You don't need to fight them. Yeah, Dustin. Wow. Somebody's sounding like Fro-Fro right now. As the barking stops, Dustin stirs, life returning to his tiny body, though his mom remains in her half-dead state. I love Dustin so much. Don't be mean to Gretchen. How did you get here, Dustin? Mm-hmm. I'm so glad all of this is gonna be on YouTube. Still just filming us talking to possums. Are there any secrets you know about the Forbidden Wing? Okay, fair enough. Ooh, blood and storms, you say? Alright. I love Dustin so much. Could turn into food when Dustin not looking. Alright, you know, I don't think we want a pet right now. Dustin's mom is a little distressed. This isn't the best time. And I think Gretchen would think less of us for doing so. And I don't want to do that. I think Dustin's fine not being pet in this moment. And, you know, Dustin will come and go as he pleases. If Dustin comes back, you know, that's his business. So, I am curious about the vials, though. And I'm guessing this is hopefully the easiest way to get a hold of these. I don't suppose you could let me have those vials you're sitting on? Dustin glances down at the vials underneath him, and his death-feigning mom. He takes a moment before responding, clearly thinking long and hard about it. Okay, Weird Egg's not as warm and nice as clothes the human gave Dustin anyway. Heck yeah. You slide a number of vials out from beneath Dustin and his mom, who is still stiff as a board. A tiny trickle of drool leaks from the corner of her mouth, leaving a damp trail along the width of them. Bye, Dustin. Bye, Dustin's mom. Okay? You close the drawer, returning Dustin and Dustin's mom to their hideaway before turning to Stella with your haul of glass vials. Alright. I need to see the look on her face.
Dustin, lucky humans have real good nature. Lucky human rated Hell Beast! Dustin almost died like siblings.
Oh no. I feel like we could have revealed this earlier, but I was a lot more, protective of kids' secret power to speak with animals. But at this point, it's like, no, who cares? There's clearly a lot weirder stuff happening than talking to animals. You can know. Oh, heck yeah, perfect combination for this. You reach for one of them, but hesitate before opening it. This is a fragile thing, and it hums with a strange energy. You close your eyes and focus on that hum, and to your surprise, at the back of your mind, you hear it. You begin to read their contents to Stella out loud. This is the part of the video where Kid just talks to animals and then reads paper from within a vial. To Miss Maeve, I know it has been several years since my last visit, but I do hope you remember the young lad who used to find himself at your doorstep. More than you probably would have liked. I write you now with the utmost urgency. Kid's magic. That's just how we started this. Stella focuses the camera on you as you continue to read. I'm not sure if news has reached you regarding what transpired just yesterday. Many lives were lost. The town is in a frenzy. I hope to mitigate some of the damage that has been done and thus must speak with you at once. I attempted the journey to your place of residence but was unable to locate it. There's no way could just think of all this off the top of their head, so... Definitely not a prank. You once told me of another way to reach you, and though it seems nothing but a half-remembered fantasy, I am acting in desperation. I can only hope this letter finds its way to you, as you once said it would in my hour of need. I must meet with you at your soonest convenience. Sincerely, yes. Stella snatches one of the vials from you and closes her eyes, her face scrunched with intense concentration. Yeah, Stella's not mystical. And then she pops it open, and the smell of an old pawn wafts across the room. She wastes no time removing the paper within and unfurling it. Gretchen, Dustin's my friend. Okay, so, like, the paper didn't immediately disintegrate upon opening the vial, so we just did that to be impressive. And then she's interrupted as, okay. Yep, so it would have dissolved. Okay, yeah, all she needed to do was, like, look at bits and pieces of it to, know that we read it. We were actually sensing it. I wonder if you get, like, a few seconds to read parts of it before it disintegrates. Or if you only get the beginning bit. I thought everybody could do this. Yeah, we don't really know that much about her mystical powers. We know how to talk to animals, but that's kind of just been a thing. In all honesty, if she was asking about the animals, I think this would be Kid's response. What, you can't actually talk to animals? Thought everybody could do that. I don't know, it's like the glass is talking to me. Yep, that's my choices at the start of this. Beast speak and glass speak. Definitely the best possible run. Even though a man is dead because I wasn't strong enough. Anyway, Stella sighs. But also, yeah, going back to the other line, yeah, there is just a line specifically there for this run. This run of talking to the possums. And revealing that I can talk to animals, and then doing the mystical thing. Anyway, you reach for another. Miss Verena, trouble with tea. Your presence requested at once. Verena, know what you tried. Do not appreciate the attempt at subterfuge. Thought we both knew what was at stake here. The boy has been dealt with. Expect me this evening for in-person discussion. Stella gets a distant look in her eye for a moment. She stares off into the dark, as if watching some vision play out. But she quickly snaps back to reality, shaking herself out of it as she continues to rifle through the letters. I mean, maybe she can also read stuff from within a vial. You continue through the last few. Many seem unimportant, just listing a time and a place. You assume meetings between Enoch and whoever this Verena may have been. Alright, let's step away from the desk and see if we get anything, for doing that instead of just going back out to the hallway. You step away from the desk. Okay, nope. Let's see where those footprints lead. You find yourself on the 3rd floor of the estate for the first time. As you take in your surroundings, Stella slowly pans the camera down the length of the hall, working to build dread and tension for her future viewers. She clears her throat again, resuming her narration in a charmingly professional hosting voice. She drops the camera after her morbid joke, her voice returning to its usual casual cadence. Okay. Well, let's see. It's an explore option, so let's just approach the window. You carefully approach the window at the far end of the hall. That sure is a cliff. There is nothing below the window but the tops of distant trees, the ground having crumbled away. The only thing stopping you from plummeting to your death is the straining foundation that somehow still holds this place together. At least for now. Alright, let's do that. The boxes slide out of the way with a bit of elbow grease. You push past them into the room beyond. Okay, oh. Explore Edwardine's bedroom. Also, I still have Steam overlay for this. It hasn't been too intrusive, so we'll just leave it on, I guess. The room is coldly empty. The large antique bed is made, its sheets ancient and dusty, but still somehow giving off the feeling of tidiness. Even with cobwebs stretched between each corner of its 4-poster frame. Okay, closet first. Any creepy dolls in here? You make your way to the closet. It's as lifeless and tidy as the rest of the room. It seems this room's occupant keeps things neat and orderly, or as neat and orderly as they could, considering the decaying state of the place. The only thing here besides her clothes and shoes is a box, shoved off to one side. You pick it up. Child-size overalls, striped shirts, and a pair of trousers with suspenders still attached. One of those little sailor suits boys from the 50s were always wearing. Constantly. Alright. When you pull out the last shirt, a note is revealed, tucked away in the bottom of the box in a protective plastic sleeve. It's scrawled in almost illegible handwriting, written in some thick brown watery ink that's cracked with age. Yeah, really creepy paper. Stella zooms in on the unsettling note, making sure the camera takes in every detail. I mean, we might already be cursed, but okay. Back you go. You drop the note back into the box, once again covering it with the clothes. Jesus Christ. Stella squeezes your arm. Alright, desk time next. Any creepy messages here? Or did they use ink down the line? You start opening drawers. Each one is filled with paper, stacked haphazardly, practically spilling out as you attempt to dig through for anything important. I want to see more Dustin and Dustin friends. When you reach the bottom right drawers, you find something entirely different. Greeting cards, letters, small wrapped packages. Some opened, some sealed, some crumpled into messy balls. You open one of the cards. Both pages are taken up by handwritten notes. Huh. So, Tabitha wanted this so far out of her way she put it here. Stella lowers the camera, averting its gaze from the deeply personal letters. Gonna have to cut that one out. Huh. Then... that wasn't her hiding that. You pull out another from closer to the top of the pile. Oh my god, okay. Wow, so, Pearl Ann sucks then, huh? I think we need to take these with us. Like, Tabitha doesn't like us whatsoever, so I don't know how she'll take this, but, I can see why our mom didn't like Pearl Ann then. Just hiding a whole dad from Tabitha. Oh. I know we're mystical and animal speaking, so I know we're not particularly tough, but I am gonna have to fight Pearl Ann's ghost if we ever see it. There are years and years of these. The bottom drawer is almost entirely unopened envelopes dated from when Tabitha would have been just a kid. All from him. I don't know. He's dead or he sucks. Hmm. You know what, actually, you know her better than I do, Stella. What do you think she'd want us to do? Okay. Yeah, alright. Cool. Stella stuffs a handful of letters into her bag. You're done here. Return to the hallway. Well, Glad I agree with Stella on this one. You and Stella return to the hallway. Alright, middle room time. Just turn around and leave immediately. Nope, 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 not dealing with this. No thank you. Alright, bookshelf, what you got for us? The top shelf is occupied by antique picture books. Dick and Jane, nursery rhymes, ancient editions of Grimm's fairy tales. The lower shelves are full of educational material, from children's encyclopedias to writing practice workbooks. From the sheer number of learning-oriented books on the shelf, you get the impression that the children who lived here were not supposed to be as interested in fun and fiction as they were in diction and spelling. The Scarlets? No. Your family may have been wealthy, but maybe not in joy. I mean, let's look through these. You leaf through a few of the practice workbooks, gently turning the near-crumbling pages. Yeah, elephants are big. You gotta actually go, just so you know for certain. You flip through the rest of the book, your eyes unfocused as the many practice sentences and letter copying pages flash by. But something near the back of the book gives you pause. In a section that starts with a prompt, "Today I," Alexandra continues with, "Talked to the boy in the wall." Yeah, secret boy child. Oh, okay, now Stella's noticing something cool. Incredibly powerful. All are signed with the carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlet. There's a strange, fantastical element to these pictures. Everyone is smiling and sitting together, as any family would in a child's drawing, and yet it feels like these are drawn in the same hopeful way a child would draw a unicorn. Expressions of some reality that Alexandra could only dream of. There are less joyful illustrations as well. Daddy napping shows their father sleeping in a chair, a bottle of brown liquid conspicuously drawn on the table next to him. The girls hovering in the doorway some distance away. Mommy going to work shows the girls crying in the upstairs window of a house as their mother walks away, an angry frown scrawled on her face. Man, these are depressing. YouTube's gonna think it's great. You get the feeling these are more accurate depictions of the girls' lives. The last picture you pull out gives you pause. There's a new figure here, seemingly drawn behind a barrier. The two girls sit on the other side, smiles on their cartoon faces. The boy in the wall. He looks pretty happy, though. I bet he's a friend. Stella makes sure to linger on the image, getting plenty of B-roll of the scribbled lines. Alright, now we're done. You and Stella make your way back to the hallway. Okay, farthest room time. You continue following the trail of footprints, approaching the farthest room down the hall. The door was clearly meant to be hidden, but it's been left open. Yeah, I noticed, Gretchen, I noticed. Yeah, something's clearly drawn on the floor below, and there's definitely breathing sounds. It pains you to stand in this space. Emotions hang over you, strong, oppressive, and overwhelming thoughts that threaten to fill your lungs. You don't feel death here. You feel something worse. A deeper loss, one that's left a wound that has refused to scar. You can't help but fixate on the carpet in the center of the room. The corner is rumpled, as if it had been recently moved. Oh, so I could only do this if I'm, mystical. That's interesting. So I definitely noticed something there. You pull the carpet up, exposing the bare floor and revealing what lies beneath. An ornate ring of sigils has been carved into the floor, 5 along the edges with a 6th in the center. The circle emits a now uncomfortably familiar feeling. You can feel your gaze forced to crawl over every intricate detail of the carving in front of you. Is this what's making Kanika disappear? Just asking for a friend. The friend is Stella, who doesn't remember her very well. But you're far too drawn into a trance to respond to Stella, or to even pay much mind to what she's saying. Your gaze crawls across the intricate details unbidden. The serpents wrapped around the staff gives you flashes of the room beyond the morgue, and the darkness that swept through the house once it had been uncovered. The fist and chain makes you feel like you're back in the claustrophobic confines of the mines, surrounded by the angry hammering of its memories. The horns have the same nightmarish, dreamy feeling of the world constructed by the furious ghost of Charles Shaw, Jr. The others are new to you. The feelings they emit are less intense, giving only vague impressions of what they might be tied to. Golden fields, the mewling of fresh souls, just slithering out from the womb and desperate to be fed. Another that rings like bells in your mind, calling you not towards it, but away from it, pushing you from its threshold and into the darkness. But the central symbol is the strongest of all. It echoes out across the room, a vast ego proclaiming its dominance. A bell chimes, not calling me but pushing me away. And there's a field somewhere, torn by hunger and... She flashes you a confident smile, her eyes shining as they meet yours. Her faith in you is unwavering. Stella crosses the room, training the camera on the door on the far side. Like the way you entered, it too has been left ajar, as if inviting you to explore what might be behind it. Yeah, did they buy the soundtrack too? You exit into a short hallway. There are stairs here, leading back down into the lower floors. But there is also another door. It's hanging ajar, the many locks and deadbolts along its edge glimmering in the weak morning lights. The doorframe itself is gouged and splintered, evidence that some desperate creature tried to save itself from the room beyond time and time again. Nope. Gretchen's whining reaches a fever pitch. Before you can stop her, Stella steps into the little room, her camera drinking in every detail. Alright, what do we got? You step forward to join her, Gretchen remaining rooted to the floor outside. Alright, yeah, cool. Creepy doll room. Cannot tell what that says. Which is a shame because I'm sure it took a lot of effort to carve all of that. This was a prison cell. Everything about this place reeks of neglected humanity. The walls are covered in scratches, legible words mixed in with a nonsense of desperate clawing. The one window set high in the far wall is fitted with a thick pane of glass, as if the iron bars just beyond it wouldn't be enough to hold the imprisoned. You can't help but notice that the doll from your closet sits watching you from the bed, one eyelid drooping. It adds an extra layer of menace to the already deeply unsettling room. Okay, if I had gone to our bedroom, would I have noticed that that was gone? Because that feels like it would have been kind of important. Property of Alexandra. Alright, let me see if I can get any reads on it. Oh, I can, cool. The pain radiating from these walls howls through your mind. Whatever lived here lived in constant torment. But the etchings on the walls are more than just evidence of the suffering that went on here. Whatever was trapped in these walls was trying to send a message, to you or to anyone else who might happen across it. Your eyes are drawn to the massive, almost letters, dug as deep into the brick as the cell's prisoner could manage, highlighted with whatever pigments were available. It almost looks like a word, though none of the lines meet up, causing you to constantly doubt whether they're letters or just lines that fool the eye into imagining shapes that aren't there. Your stomach clenches with nausea as you run your eyes along the deep furrows in the wall. Whatever was in here wanted these words to be known. So you do your best to store them away, trying to burn the image of them into your mind, carved deep into the wall, bloody against the filthy brick. I'm leaving. That doll used to be in my closet. Property of Alexandra. Stella walks over to the doll and examines it. Kind of a bad time to mention that. Okay, we only get one of these. I don't know if I want to turn and leave. I feel like I'll see something before she does. I need time to say, he's right behind me, isn't he? Like, I can't just turn to meet that immediately. The boy in the wall. Ooh. Stella lets the stake hang in the air. Okay, we have seen this room. You and Stella are interrupted by a sound wrapping around you. Music. The tinkling of piano keys played by a clumsy hand. They echo up a narrow staircase at the end of the hall. One you've yet to travel. Stella seems uncharacteristically shaken. She clutches at your arm, the camera trembling in her hand. You know who you'll find if you choose to follow the tune. It's an invitation. Wayne's blackened fingers sending out a message across the quiet house. Honestly, kind of a relief. If it's just him, it's fine. If it's anything else in the known universe, we've got problems. The two of you stagger back into the hall. Yeah, it's him. Win Radio TV. He's here, playing the piano, as he's known to do. Stella seems to swallow her momentary fear, straightening back up and letting the light return to her features. I wonder if she's as confident about interrogating him as she is because we've been at least a little trusting of him. No, Gretchen, we're going towards the music first. I feel like we don't want to separate at this point. Look, Kaneka's being separated from the known universe. We need at least one of our friends around. We'll go talk to him together. And if he really wants to talk alone, then you can just stand outside, it's fine. Like, he's been to your house, the least he can do is clue you in on everything going on. Stella scoops up Gretchen, the pug still visibly shaking with the fear this place seemed to instill in her, though Stella's comforting grip seems to ease her poor little doggy spirits. Yeah, no, nothing physical has happened so far. You weren't turned into a meat puppet again. Her grip is firm and warm and reassuring, and together, you make your way down the hall to the source of the eerie music. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once a servant's quarters. A network of cramped passageways hidden behind the expansive rooms of the estate without so much as a window for illumination. But you persist and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet estate, the echoing piano of your only company, not of. Soon enough, you see light again, the sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceilings and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space, a chorus of wind adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. But as you make your way into one of the side rooms, utterly dark save for the open doorway on the far wall, the music stops. There's no warning, no gentle fade or dramatic slamming of keys. Did we do the wrong thing? Oh, no, he's here. Hey, Wayne. When you make your way to the music room, Wayne is already standing, his eyes glimmering in the darkness behind his stained veil. But I don't want to harass two people. Answer his call. He slips away into the shadows. Slattern, I think? Alright, well, maybe he would have talked to us more if Stella weren't here, but, I mean, I got an achievement, so really, is there anything else I need in life? The warmth you and Stella shared last night seems to fall apart in the fresh air, shaken by the unearthed secrets of your family's past. A tense silence holds between the two of you as your mind does its best to grapple with what you found. Hey, God loves possums. I don't know, Gretchen. You're kind of rude. The cell, the doll, Nox Occult Sanctuary, the boy and the wall and his outfit in Edwardine's closets. Is it possible your cousin has known about all of this? Your eyes dart back up to Stella. Her gaze is fixed on some non-existent point far off in the distance, and you can only try to imagine what she might be thinking. Maybe she feels you're connected in some impossible way to what you've just discovered, like you carry whatever went on there in your blood. And Tabitha, who had lived under the same roof as that cell her entire life. This silence feels like a terrible thing, like detritus clogging the air, suffocating the fragile growth of a barely formed relationship. There's a feeling that the longer you wait to say something, anything, the more your tentative relationship will unravel second by second. So say something, say anything, just to break this awful silence already. Maybe the dungeon was just a sex thing. Somebody had some really weird fetishes. We are going to cancel this person online so hard. I don't think she's mad at us. She wanted to come along. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with... Do you think Tabitha knows? No. I'm not thinking those reactions were faked. Alright, well, let's just start by going... No, actually, we should talk to Stella first and foremost. I was always going to see what we saw today, but there's nothing forcing us to go to Tabitha. We don't have to see her. We can't trust the cops. What if we just left town together? Let's just leave. I'm done with this. Alright, so yeah. It is very much... You should probably go see Tabitha or you're missing out. Tabitha needs to know what we found. She needs to know what her family kept from us. I mean, she's going to murder me is the thing. I'm not on good terms with her. Oh, okay, so that was an explore option, but we're here anyway. There are no picketers outside the mine today. The only sound is the constant low industrial clanking of unending productivity. The only sign of life, the slow-moving machinery beyond the rickety chain-link fence. The Scarlet Hollow mines are ticking along, as they always have. There is nothing here to stop you from seeing your cousin. You and Stella make your way through the front gates and up the short path to your cousin's office. Stella doesn't bother to knock before twisting the door open and confidently stepping into the trailer. We've learned some horrible, dark secrets. Actually, yeah, no, what? Where, what? What? I mean, that could have happened, but no, that was more on me, though. I called you to the mines that one time, and you didn't have to get piloted around like a meat puppet. Oh, this is a great position to be in for some facial expressions. Stella pulls up a chair, and the two of you sit down across from your increasingly anxious cousin. Oh wow, we're just opening right up with that. That's, Yeah, let's not play the blame game, it's fine. I guess we'll just throw in some reassurance, because I feel like it's a little early to just bring that up. Or not. Oh, okay. Stella's just gonna keep going. Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to bring up. Yeah, do you... I actually do kind of appreciate that, like, this is the point where nothing you say actually matters. Stella's just gonna talk. These two have an established relationship, and, she's just going to say words after everything we've seen. Oh no, he definitely is. I can chime in if you'll let me. I won't be rude. I don't know if she's going to appreciate this part of it, but, we brought all of this to you because we trust you, Tabitha. Stella's your friend, and I'm your family. She might have, but I've been doing a terrible job with her so far. When Stella finishes, your cousin gathers herself and locks onto you with a steel gaze. Me? Yeah, let's ruin this. Oh, don't say this. We're not throwing accusations. I know you didn't see your dad's birthday card, so why would I think you'd seen everything else? Haha, got her. Look, there's no good way to get this information across. Stella doesn't wait for her friend to say yes. She slides them across the table, and Tabitha stares down at them, hesitant. The sound of an approaching police siren interrupts the argument before any further points can be made. Fuck you, Tabitha. We already know the cops don't trust us. Yeah, I really don't think she's going to listen to this. Because again, we've not been doing a great job here. You're really gonna do this, aren't you? You're really going to have me arrested. Your own cousin. Tabitha sighs, a certainty settling over her. There's a knock at the office door. The door swings open and Deputy Franklin, the sternest member of the Scarlet Hollows police force, walks in. Why? Exactly what have I done? Wait, you're just letting me do this? Nice. Alright, well, good luck with the strike then. Not helping you with that. What? No! I wonder if this would let me distract him enough to leave, but... look, it's... meh. I at least want to know what I'm being charged with. You can't just take me away if I'm not being charged with something. I've done nothing wrong. Deputy Franklin nods, whipping out his handcuffs. A single smooth police academy motion is all it takes, and the cuffs are locked around your wrists. As you're dragged from the office, Stella calls out to you one last time. Officer Franklin drags you from the office and towards the squad car, tossing you into the back seat and slamming the door. As you're shoved into the car, a voice crackles over the radio. Alright, well, hopefully nothing happens to you while I'm just in this car handcuffed. Sure would suck if, I couldn't save the cops. Yep, that'd be a shame. Deputy Franklin wastes no time in turning on the sirens, blasting down the road towards whatever emergency is underway, with you in tow. This is possibly one of the few times he has ever been able to do this, and despite his sunglasses and stiff demeanor, there is definitely an excitement in the way he cruises around the treacherous mountain turns. This is the end of part 1 of episode 5. Okay, I was wondering if I was going to hit the halfway mark. So yeah, this update is so big that we're not getting the next part of it until next week, so that makes for a perfect stopping point. I guess we'll do... Well, this is technically the oldest one, so I'll go here. Alright, yeah, so... Friday morning panic, Stella. Alright, yeah, so... If you'd like to continue in this world state, please save your game now. Okay, we'll save specifically here. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that's the first part. Man. Tabitha really doesn't like Kid at all. So, you know, maybe she would be a little more, nice if we'd actually let her see the horrors, but we didn't really bring her along a lot. She saw the mines and that was about it, so, yeah, we've not talked. I don't even remember if I made the Dead Moms Club joke to her. I don't think Kid did that. But nonetheless, she still doesn't like Kid whatsoever. But we have learned of the horrible dark secrets, or at least we're vaguely aware of them. We don't really know the why, or a lot of the how, but we know some parts of it. They kept children in a dungeon. We know that. We also know that Kanika's vanishing from existence, and man, I would like to know more about that. It has to be a specific story beat, not just because I wasn't paying attention to her, because we've spent some time with her. If anybody would be disappearing, it would be Avery. Avery would be non-existent by now. But yeah, I guess we're cutting off here, so since we don't have the full extent of the chapter just yet, I'll wait till next week to do final thoughts. These episodes are usually about 2 streams as it is, so honestly I kinda figured I'd hit the ceiling for the time being. So I'm sure we'll see what happens next time. Something's happening down at the farm. And again, you know, if anything horrible happens to the cops while I'm in the car, yeah, I don't think there's anything I'll be able to do about it. It's just gonna be so tragic. But we'll have to see what the case is next time then. So, yeah, I guess I don't have much else to say other than, we'll be streaming the rest of episode 5 next Saturday, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time, where we'll see whatever the heck the game has in store. So far, there's been a pretty good formula of kind of an investigation period, surrounded by a bit of hangout time. You get a little time to sort of wake up, enjoy the morning, talk to someone, and then you get investigation. And then once you're done with investigation, the horrors begin. And I am so looking forward to it. So far, they've all been pretty varied, but they've also been ramping up a decent amount. I feel like the mines were kind of the least aggressive overall, because most of it was ghosts. There was also an active cave-in, but I don't know, I feel like that's like an ending rather than the constant. I don't know. I just feel like I take monsters actively surrounding you and them being physical beasts more seriously than just the creaking of the mines. One's a more immediate threat to me. But yeah, then after that we just had the everybody gets possessed episode, and then after that was Reese turns into a monster. So I can only guess what the end of part 5 will bring. So yeah, we'll just have to see how that resolves next time. For now, though, other streams include Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. That one is Xenoblade Chronicles X. Because I did so much this week, with the extra stream day and all, we're now past Chapter 10, which means it's time for Blossom Dance. I can finally get that. And then Thursday, also 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, will actually be probably the end of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World the game. Took a brief break from that because I wanted to not play while there was a Ubisoft strike. Take notes, Tabitha. I do support strikes. That's pretty great. I'm probably gonna err on the side of them if anything happens. Just saying. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Probably the end of that game unless I don't finish it, in which case the week after will almost certainly be the end of it. That's it for stream stuff, but you can catch the VODs on YouTube. I'm Fefter Masamone on there. And I guess I could recommend going back to the earlier Scarlet Hollow episodes, but man oh man, between terrible mic quality and my old laptop instead of a desktop computer, I'm starting to think, like, that is not an ideal playlist. But also, I don't want to start, like, another recorded run until the game's, like, finished. Like, that was kind of the plan, was to just play the episodes, as they came out, and then at some point go back and do a different file with a different character with different traits, but part of me kind of wants to maybe redo the earlier parts, and from the recap, even just getting the recap, we could see that parts in the early game were changed. Like, the whole thing with Gretchen is just very different now. But, yeah. You can go listen to the earlier parts of this if you want to see how the game looked earlier and what my decisions early on were. But again, bit of an asterisk on that. Man, a lot of that's low quality. Man, if I could just magically make those not garbage quality, that would be great, but I'd also be waving that wand a lot. Anyway, though, yeah, other than that, though, I also do LPs as well. Mega Man 02 is Monday, and the finale of it is coming up, so yeah, this next week is gonna be the end of that one. And then Wednesday is Saints Row 4, and Friday is Mega Man Battle Network 2. Which one is this next week, anyway? Because let me tell you, this week was great. If you're not following Mega Man Battle Network 2, The E-King of a foreign land was just assassinated. And wouldn't you know it, they just didn't back him up. So now the entire country is going to collapse. Which means the part coming up must be, Oh wait, no, side quest episode? It might be the side quest episode. Right, yeah. It's a bit of side quests. The country's in danger, but I've gotta see the request board. So yeah, that's on Friday. And if you want to support me, you can do so through Patreon or Ko-fi. I'm Fefner on both those sites. And you can find links easily enough in the Twitch bio or underneath the YouTube videos. Alright, well then. I guess that's the end of that till next week, so... one more time, I will see you next time for the horrors. Whatever they may be. And if they're inflicted on a cop, there's simply nothing I can do about that. Ah, well.